very special guest in studio, Dr. Shari Lieberman, who apparently just had a guest appearance at The View, sitting with Rosie and Elizabeth. So we're perhaps one step down from that.
No, you're not,
but
Robin.
We're glad that you're here anyway. Dr. Lieberman, one of the co-authors to a book called Mineral Miracle, and I'm not sure if we've got the cover of it that we're going to show. It's the story of science behind a truly remarkable discovery. And we're talking about inflammation, pain. There's a lot of people out there living in pain.
Chronic
right?
pain.
How many in terms of?
Gazillions. Gazillions. That's a technical word.
The stats show.
The stats
really?
show. But you know what else? It's also affecting even younger people now. And I think we have to put it into perspective. You know, all inflammation isn't bad. When you hurt yourself, you injure a joint, you injure your knee, whatever, inflammation signals healing, so it's a good thing. But the problem is when that inflammation runs amok and it doesn't stop and it becomes chronic. That's what the problem is. And there's a few reasons why that happens. Number one, the way we live, the way we eat. I mean, we eat diets that are pro-inflammatory. We eat a lot of sugar, a lot of fat. Not the good fats like from fish oil and flax and walnuts, but the bad fats from fried foods and fast foods.
Right.
So that creates inflammation. Taking in more omega-3s like from fish oil is very important. But there's also a new mineral discovery called Cerasil, which is from the High Sierra Mountains. It's a natural mineral complex that can help, as I affectionately refer to it, put out the fire. And by doing so, it can actually help reduce inflammation. And you think about, you know, why is that important? It's important because when inflammation doesn't stop, what starts to happen is the enzymes that are clearing away the dead tissue and debris actually start to eat away at healthy cartilage. And that's why people have the chronic pain they have.
Okay, so tell me a little bit more about this discovery, this mineral. How is it found, and how do we know that why does it work?
Why does it work? Well, first of all, it was discovered by prospectors, a prospector that was actually prospecting and mining and looking for gold, and he had heard through the native population using types of clay have been used for thousands of years for their healing properties. So he had pain, you know, it's a very grueling job. He had his dog with him.
Pack the clay around the injury kind of thing, right?
Or use it internally too.
Okay.
So his dog was rather lame, you know, walking around with him up and down the mountains. He figured, you know, if I give it to my dog and the dog survives, maybe it's a good thing. So he experimented on his dog. And the dog actually became well. He then used it.
Right.
And his aches and pains went away. We fast forward a couple of decades, and it was actually used by Mr. Peter Bentley, who's a very well-known businessman here in Canada, who tried it for his aches and pains, which improved. So we fast forward again, and there's a very large clinical study looking at about 100 patients with osteoarthritis who had their pain significantly reduced by using this very special mineral complex. And it does so by really impacting the inflammation. And you've heard of glucosamine and chondroitin. They're great. They rebuild cartilage. They're wonderful supplements, but sometimes they don't work or work for like 4 to 8 weeks because the inflammation is still in full swing. So if you could take something that can significantly reduce the inflammation, then your joint can actually heal and repair and become well.
A lot of people out there, though, that are skeptical of so-called, you know, alternative medicine or the natural healing. Is this book, then, Mineral Miracle, is it written for the naysayers, or who's
it's written? Everything I write is for the naysayers. One thing I'm really into is the research. So there's research on fish oil, there's research on diet. It's about not only using Cerasil, but actually creating a health program that will also significantly reduce inflammation. Because if you just take a supplement and you're eating garbage and you're overweight, it's about the lifestyle. It's really a wonderful adjuvant to a great lifestyle. And I think that what we have to do is really get a handle on inflammation, because if you have chronic pain day in and day out, that's a sign that something else could be going on as well.
Yeah, it just sounds like a really awful way to have to live.
To live in pain every day, it's crazy. And also, we now know that a lot of the things that you get over the counter, like ibuprofen and even Tylenol, acetaminophen, they have very serious side effects, which people are turning to these drugs now because all the COX inhibitors were removed, like the Vioxx and Celebrex. So, you know, although these over-the-counter drugs might be a little bit better, they were really not developed to be used day in and day out every day, and there's side effects. As a matter of fact, acetaminophen is the leading cause of emergency room visits in the United States and one of the leading causes of liver failure. So we have to be a little careful about those too.
It's very interesting chatting with you. Dr. Shari Lieberman, and of course the book Mineral Miracle, and you are speaking this afternoon,
I
right?
am,
If people
so
want
come
to
see
hear more
me.
about Sierrasil and about the inflammation and all of that, you're going to be there at what, 3 o'clock this
3
afternoon?
o'clock. 3 o'clock
There's
sharp.
the information right there. Vancouver Health Show at the Vancouver Convention and Exhibition Center at 3. Dr. Lieberman, thank you for sharing your time with us.
It was great to be here. We'll
Next
do it
time
again.
we're doing it in Florida, right?
Absolutely. We're going to book it.
We'll get the tan going.
Exactly.
Thanks so much. 9:48 now. Christy's back with details of a great South Caribou getaway. Plus, she'll have your long-range forecast after a quick break. Do stay with us.